the Yomi USA vs. World 5v5 exhibition. I am Mad King, joined today by pickles972.
How's it going? Thank you for having me, Mad King.
No problem. So I think our assigned roles are I'm the US caster and you're the world caster.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
So I'm going to be Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Changes roster, enemies replaced with BR, way.
Fair enough. Alright, so, I mean, there seems to be some confusion here as to Team USA's identities.
Need to receive Team US roster first.
Well, not only that, they seem to, if this is to be believed fluffiness here, we have some alternate accounts.
We might. Okay, so we have some alternate accounts. I'm pretty sure Mom Destroyer is Riker, and he's going to be playing Geiger.
Yeah.
Scorpion Master is going to be Leontes, I suppose, playing Midori.
Unless it's Clan.
Yomi Master, no, I think that's Yomi Master level 9999 as Trock. Dark Panda 7000 as Gloria, who is LK404. Clan is Yomi Master. And Dude 22 Evil Dragon Knight is and Tillerman. For World, let me make sure I got everything. Because, okay, my activity official middleman.
It's Bob199.
Bob199.
On to Gray.
Raziek as Zane.
Yep. Negutin as Onimaru. Enomis as Lum. And Bomber as Truck.
Bomber 678 as Truck. And what was our last one? My apologies.
It is Enomis Lum. Is the one you're missing, I believe?
Lum.
Yeah.
For US, EDK, Mom Destroyer.
AKA Riker, I believe.
Evil Dragon Knight, I believe, AKA and Tillerman.
Yep.
Brave. Scorpion Master, AKA Leontes Midori. Yomi Master, level 9999, aka Clan Natchoi, Truck, Dark Panda 7000, aka LK40404, or
Gloria.
04. It's letter O. Gloria.
Oh yeah, true.
So welcome to the only community where people make 5 alternate accounts, buy the characters for extra hype.
That is some commitment to this game. That is why I love the community.
Please PM your leads. And good luck.
Alright, so we're about to get the information for the leads, and hopefully we're going to kick this off.
So, when we were talking earlier, you had the prediction the lead was going to be to Gray for Team World. Bob DeGray.
I believe so. I mean, Bob is a pretty competent DeGray player, and DeGray doesn't really have any earth-shatteringly bad matchups, so it's a safe lead, I think.
Okay, so knowing that that's the most likely lead, I think Team USA sort of anticipating a Bob lead there for precisely that reason. Zane, Onimaru, Truck, and Lum can all.
He's also sitting in the lead spot right now.
Well, that he could just be holding the spot in the room, right?
That's true.
So I'm anticipating that the lead for Team USA, assuming they expect Midori, that sort of puts them in a really awkward spot. There really isn't a great anti-degrade pick outside of maybe Clan de Toys Trock.
Yeah, I think they probably just lead with their safest pick, like Grave or Truck. I think are both super safe.
Awkward matchup.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, like, they're not 100%. If Bob's leading, it's not great, but I mean, both Grave and Truck have pretty good matchups just against the field, right? So,
right, for sure.
I think Truck is correct. Is the safest matchup, but you got to save that matchup for Raziek if you're going to win this first set, which is my thought process, which is why I think it will be great.
Apparently, I was not supposed to give character choices according to Riker. Okay, so they are going to be lead Bomber 678 as Trock. That is going to be the lead for Team World.
All right. Yeah, actually, if it was Canada Cup rules, true, I should have considered this. We shouldn't have given the characters. That's unfortunate.
However, I like having it as a caster, personally. I like knowing what the characters are going to be.
Oh, for sure. The other thing about that is it definitely makes now the thought process of picking who follows when way harder. Based on losers.
Keep in mind, of course, that the characters had already been leaked by Fluffiness anyway.
Yeah. True. Well, I mean, remind Riker of that, because he's his ambassador. I want nothing to do with the UST.
You bastard. Okay, so knowing that Bomber's the lead, so this does make Team USA's decision more interesting. The Team USA will be leading with Gloria. We are going to be leading LK404.
All right, perfect. Let's see it.
We will be having Dark Panda 7000 versus Bomber 678.
All right, gloves are off. Let's get this thing kicked off.
Okay, that means Bob's going to be sitting in the spectator zone.
Are we going to have a team kill first round?
No, I seriously doubt it.
Let's get some air horns up in this place. All right. This is really exciting. I love this kind of event. Exhibition matches, super hype, great for the community, and I mean everyone always turns out for these. So,
absolutely. Let's get this show on the road. We're waiting on the players.
I assume probably just last decisions from in the Skype chat. I assume their calls.
Yeah.
Brigg and Riker, man. I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but that
Riker might be referring to me spoiling the identities of each player.
Well, that might have been Fluffiness's fault.
Well, I mean, I explicitly said who each person was, right?
I mean, I think anyone who's seen any of these tournaments before know who's who.
They can take a guess, right? That Team USA is probably not going to completely disregard the tournament.
That being said, if they pulled a fast one on us and switched players for characters, that would be brilliant.
Alright, so we have Gloria versus Trox. This matchup's considered to be one of Gloria's more awkward ones. She has a lot of really good attacks, honestly, but then Trox actually has the dominant attack until Gloria has triple ace with his Q.
Yes.
Even if Trox only has double ace and Gloria has maybe 1 or 2 aces, he still has the dominant attack with his double ace because that trades very favorably with Gloria's queen.
It does indeed, and the Athlonix's matchup chart has us at 6-4. I believe that. Like a couple lost combats here for Gloria can put him in a really bad position. Trox has so much health, and his combat options are so efficient.
Gloria needs to do 95 points of health before Trox finds a way to burst through Gloria.
Yeah. Halfway, boys.
Yeah, once Trox gets that second block attached, it's all bad news.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I mean that's a great first combat for Team World.
And also, I think LK has to establish very early he's not going to fall into that turn 1K throw. Hence that very bold 6 attack, and it does get a heart into the discard. So he has a recursive big normal / dodge.
Yeah, that's a pretty optimal play.
Alright, so knocks down Trox.
But it trades favorably for Gloria.
And note this is also a King of Hearts. So this is actually one of the best cards to start with in the Grappler matchup. Is a 2.2 speed knocking down thing.
Yeah, and I mean trading with the Jack there is great because it makes her lower normals much safer.
So we're gonna be healing up. This is gonna put Gloria at 6 cards. After the next card draw, Trox is gonna remain at 8. Has the King available.
Still no overdose though.
Well, because he didn't win combat there. When you win combat, you draw 2 cards. So
yeah,
because it tied, he doesn't want to use the overdose. They both burn 10, then he doesn't get cards to replace it.
Did he power right away?
No, he didn't. He turned a 2 and a 4 into a king, which he's just going to play again.
Yeah, of course. Why not, right? Strong combat option is strong combat option.
I mean, if you run into a Q, you're not too worried. You took 9 damage. You can heal that back up pretty quickly.
And it beats all of other Trox's optimal options right now. So it's super good.
Meanwhile, Bomber's Throw, I think, trying to leverage the threat of Trox's Queen as that dominant attack.
Yeah, but now he finds himself on the ground, and Glorious
low hand, we know one of them isn't a combat option, right? Because it's an ace.
Yeah.
because I don't feel like I don't feel like Twilight Key or Sun and Moon is terribly likely at 5 cards right now.
I don't think it's terribly likely unless it's lethal.
Like, I like it later. I like it when Gloria has a lot of cards. I don't like it so early.
Yeah.
It's not likely to even happen early because she has to get 3 aces assembled. Deciding what the knockdown mix-up's going to be. Ooh.
That's the second block, and a really good block by Bomber. Catches the cross-up.
2 for 2 on those normal attacks, so Bomber is at full power.
Yes, he is. Riker on full shit talks right here.
So we have to watch out because those normal throws now do 10 damage and allow for a follow-up.
Yep, that's a possible 20 damage off of any normal throw.
In addition, his blocks, on the other hand, have gotten much weaker. He can also do 10 damage off any dodge because he can do dodge in a normal throw. Yes, and remember that while Gloria's knocked down, she's not allowed to heal.
Well, that's a pretty big start right there.
I think he's just going to go into the combo. That'd be 19.
So that's some big damage off of 2 cards.
And this is one of the reasons Gloria does not like this matchup, because once Troc gets set up, she gets to heal for a turn. Troc maybe does 20 a turn, and those aren't good odds.
And not only that, I mean, anytime she wants to block, she has to risk falling behind in cards to these like insane grapples, right? So, oh, that was a really smart throw there.
Absolutely, because you have to think there's a really good chance he's going to throw out some face card. Gets the throw. He has the ace in hand, so that's an overdose, almost certainly. There it goes.
The first overdose of the game, and this is the first step to LK404 refilling his hand.
Mm-hmm. So he's debating whether to healing touch. He's going to go down to 5 cards. Find the king and not the ace, which I think is smart. Another overdose puts him in very dangerous territory very quickly.
Yes, that's true. And I mean, he can always power for another ace if he finds pairs anyways, right?
Notably, he has not found a 10 yet with the healing sphere ability, which is incredibly important for Gloria to keep her hand size up while healing off that residual damage.
Yeah, she really needs to be stocked. Oh, wow.
There's the uppercut.
I wonder if Bomber held that, or if he...
Entirely possible, which it would explain the throw earlier, right? Because you don't throw unless you have the uppercut available.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, that's only 9 damage, but because of LK's hand count at 4, he really can't afford to heal again right now.
No, he really...
That damage is sticking around for a while.
There's the 10, perfect.
But he needs to heal this turn. If he gets knocked down or thrown... Well, if he gets thrown, it's falling off. If he gets knocked down, it's falling off, and he's not going to be able to heal. He needs to either hit with the J, or he needs to survive for a turn and get a heal off. And that's falling off immediately. That's going to be a dodge into a normal throw. No reason really to face down unless you think he has Beast Unleashed assembled. So now his hand count is very depressing. This game is looking pretty grim for Team USA's hopes of taking that first game.
Yeah, and if Troc has any more face cards, the getting up is even harder here too.
Oh, we might get a force no card as he held on to enough 10s to get this.
That would be pretty cute.
Don't forget, this is an ability that he's allowed to use more than once a turn, so if he has multiple 10s, looks like he only has the 1, but multiple 10s could get a force no card out of LK.
And that would pretty much be the game.
Because the single ace was his least valuable option there. He needs to get a block. I think Bomber recognizes this.
So we just get the throw? Oh, wow. Queen.
Okay, so problem is you're not going to be able to pump this. I don't think his last card's an ace.
Okay. So LK404 playing very gutsy here to try and get back in this game.
I mean, he couldn't block there if he thought the throw was coming, right? Because if he gets thrown again, he's probably at 3 HP. That's probably just the game right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, very smart of Bomber just to throw and force him to make that decision.
I think that's going to be his play basically for the next several turns is I'm going to keep throwing. Oh, that's the card that Gloria needs in this situation. This will come back to his hand. It's only going to deal a net of 1 damage, but it doesn't matter because she's going to heal for 4, and that's coming back.
Yep.
So
unfortunately, no ace there.
Yeah, ace would have been very helpful, but she gets to actually grow her hand size just a little bit. Make up some of that ground.
Well, Bomber not sitting on a huge hand either. He's just at 7 cards now, so. I mean, if he was sitting at 10 cards, this would be pretty insurmountable, but, I mean, one or two combats with Ace or Healing Sphere, and Gloria can get back up to 7 cards.
I'm thinking he might have been holding that J when he had the sphere up. His hand was probably something like KJ and then some awful card. The 4, I think, was what he bluffed with, right?
Makes a lot of sense.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Silent Eagle Totem.
Eagle Totem. Good move. Thank you, Anomus. So, Gloria at 7.
Hawkpull, Falcon Stick.
Still would have worked at 1.2. Oh, boy. So, yeah, Gloria at 7. All of Trock's face cards are death for her at this point.
Indeed. And, I mean, he's sitting on a pretty good spread of them. He's only played 2. So, I mean, odds are that he has one of them.
And I feel like LK just is not in a position where he can heal right now.
Definitely
a normal throw is also
cards.
death.
Unless he's absolutely 100% sure of his rate, he cannot heal on 3 cards.
And he's thinking really hard because he wants to get a block in, but we're not sure if Bomber's going to give him the opportunity.
His whole body says block. Oh wow, Bomber taking his foot off the gas there.
Oh, well, I'm not sure I agree because you see 4 face cards in the discard, right? So I'm not sure what that's going to end up catching.
Yeah, Bomber just showing a rare indecision and opting for the really safe option, and he lets Gloria steal a card.
But it's just the 1 card. He's going to need a bit more momentum than that. Note
Well,
that 3 of his 8 dodges are in the discard. Got 2 aces in the discard. We got a 6-card Trock hand, but 6 cards for Trock, that's enough to do whatever he really wants, right?
One card for Trock is enough.
Honestly, yeah. Uh-oh. Well, the good news for him is that he's going to keep his hand size the same, so that's fine. If that was a normal throw that was going to win combat, that should be a signal he does not have a high normal, because that acknowledges you're going to lose to all of Trock's face cards.
Yeah.
Because the king will scoop her right through that. Has to get rid of a 10. That is not a good feeling. That's 10 of hearts, so he's not going to be allowed to get that back.
Well, I mean, he needs something to battle these the potential king, right? Yeah.
And also this puts her out of the lethal range of Jack and Queen.
That is true. Can't return this important Jack though.
Right, it's not Jack of Hearts, so it's not coming back, and because it got blocked, he doesn't have the option to Bathe in Moonlight. Bathe in Moonlight is only on hit, but it doesn't have to deal damage when it hits, so it can be jokered and still return to hand. Bomber loading his gun, getting the Eagle Totem, at least the threat of Eagle Totem ready.
Yeah, and no healing.
Again, 2-card hand, he's possibly heart-locked, or he's in a position where if he heals, he's getting rid of 2 very strong RPS options to gain 1, because he's likely to get a face card back. We know he has a King of Hearts in hand. Gold Burst, that is actually about what he needed.
Well, that gets back the aces.
Oh, that's smart. He's not going to be overdosing, I don't think, right?
Well, going to 1 here is... I guess to 5.
Sketchy.
Yeah, it's very great.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
Oh my god, he does it.
LK's specialty is coming back from situations that look impossible.
Well, I mean, that's Gloria's specialty, but that is some gutsy play. Let's see how it pans
And because
out.
he found 2 non-hearts, he's able to maybe use the other one to heal, bring himself back up to 5. I think he's thinking about what he wants to get back, or if he wants to heal. If he has a dodge, he's under no compulsion to heal, because he can dodge the Eagle Totem or the Queen. But I don't think he wants to leave that to chance. He's gonna, I think, find a 6, right?
Yeah. That's smart. I was gonna say Jack is enticing me here, but 6 is probably better. You're correct.
Especially if he has another Jack in hand, he can do something like dodge into Big Jack and then heal back up.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, then you actually get reasonable damage off. Well, not reasonable, but some damage.
Yeah, he got 2 non-hearts, so if he had elected not to overdose that turn, he could have used both aces to heal.
That would have been cute.
Would have been interesting. I'm not sure it would have been great, because that's a pretty low-value combat. That basically means you're gold bursting for 4 HP. It's not the best trade in the world. We know he has another ace in hand, but he's not going to be able to really use it yet. Oh, and that's the Queen of Hearts.
There's the Queen of Hearts, yeah. Probably the most important card right now.
Well, it loses to Eagle Totem at this point, because Eagle Totem just obliterates Gloria.
That's true, but he has that 6 dodge, so Bomber has to respect it.
Can't afford to heal, probably a bit heart blocks, because we know he has a King and a 6. Oh, there's the stomp. Cut that shit out.
Discards the king. So yeah, probably hard flooded.
Also, if you think about it, right, the ace-ace is going to beat that anyway, so if your mix-up is going to be block attack, any attack's going to help you about as much, because you can't possibly have Sun and Moon ready.
This is true. Now, what do you think the chances are that Bomber has drawn the 4th ace?
Oh, there's pretty reasonable chance we might just see him go nuts and go for triple ace. I don't think he'll go for it. If he's going to throw, any throw is going to work just as well as Beast Unleashed.
Yes, but in a set like this, you want to get all the high points you can right off the bat and crush your enemy's soul.
I don't know.
Probability-wise, says.
I think, again, that LK would like to get a block if he's allowed to. Another Goldburst.
Joker. Wow.
Another just what the doctor ordered sort of card.
This is one hell of an opening match.
He is holding on. He's been at basically sub 10 for most of this game.
Yeah, Bomber played a very good early game here, and now that one dodge has cost him all of his pressure.
Because he's had to go for these really wacky throws because he's a bit too worried about the dodge, losing 2 aces to a dodge.
Yeah. I mean,
these have all been like seat of your pants combats though, because any combat loses the game. Oh!
Oh wow! What a block!
That is the reason why he gold bursted. As soon as you see you don't heal, you have to think that Sun and Moon is very likely to come out. And if that came out, that could have been Trock's life, because that'd been more damage.
Yep, it's a starter. It's a 1-point starter.
Gets the chip though. He's gonna heal up. I think he's gonna find the queen or king. King. Okay.
King. Interesting. Okay. Well, so
does 9 damage compared to 6. Again, the speed numbers are relevant when you don't have access to triple ace.
I suppose you're right. And he's just got to play around that eagle totem.
He still needs to play around queen because queen is just as lethal for fewer resources. Normal throw. I'm pretty sure normal throw, good attack is gonna be the mix-up for basically the rest of the game for Trock. There it is. Up hawk.
After all that, Exaxes.
Miracles do not always happen. This puts World up 1-0. And I do believe the rules are when you lose, you are out. You are eliminated.
I think we're gonna follow the Canada Cup style where you play through the whole team.
A player that loses their match is eliminated from their team and as such can no longer play according to Enormous's official rules.
Yeah, until the
each match is a best of 3 set between 2 players though.
No, I thought it was best of 1. They just switched.
They just switched it?
Yeah. I believe the way it's going to work is once
here comes Riker.
Like you eliminate everyone from your opponent's team to claim a set, and then start again, and you can losers can reorder.
Okay, so that's going to put Riker up. Pretty much the most logical choice against Trock.
Yep, and I mean he's feeling himself right now. Let me tell you, what a king lead. Very safe option for Trock on that first turn.
Yeah, like turn 1, the most you'll probably take is 8 damage from a jack.
Yep.
Not a huge deal. Whereas you can maybe do 15 if that hits and prevent Geiger from setting up.
Yep, and I mean it beats 75% of the stuff you're going to play on turn 1.
Yeah. Well, more like 2/3. You're probably not dodging that much, right? So.
Fair enough.
Unless you're counting low normal, and that's 75%, right? Interesting. I think the 2 poke there is you probably don't have another king in hand. If you want to throw me, it'll be with a normal throw.
We're halfway there, though.
That's 1.
These first 2 turns have gone very, very well in this very unfavorable matchup for Trock.
Pretty much the best hope you can ask for is you managed to cheat out a giant growth stack and you knocked 15 points off Geiger's life bar to start the day.
Yeah.
Riker known, of course, for his very unique style of play known as Riker Ball, where if things are going any sort of I don't know what's going on, I'm going to get aces. I'm going to get aces, and you're going to deal with me.
Yep, and I mean, in this matchup where you have a 0.0 ace, it's pretty dominant.
And even the other side's 2.0, Trock only has a couple attacks, they can't even contest that.
Yeah, so. And on top of that, Trock is packing only 8 dodges, and 10 is very important to his game.
Okay, so Riker not starting off on the right foot. Those are like the 3 worst combats I could think of to start the game. You're at 58 HP.
Yep.
Trock still at full health, had the giant growth, and as you saw, even with just 1 stack attached, that's a chunk. That's 17 damage for 2 cards.
Yep. And now he's looking for that second one. And Riker is playing scared here, aka Mom Destroyer.
AKA does not have a jack yet.
He really needs that jack, too.
thing is, again, two of Trock's good face cards do beat Geiger's Jack with his Queen and his Fast J. You're not going to see Slow J in this matchup pretty much ever.
Never.
Because Geiger not really a character that relies on normal attack pressure all that much. Okay, we got 7 viewers in the stream. Welcome everybody. Hope you're enjoying this. Pretty sure I couldn't ask for a better game one as a caster.
Yeah, I agree. It was hype as fuck, and now we have Bomber running a train on the first 3 turns through what is not a very good matchup. So I mean, props to Bomber. He's played very well so far.
Oh, Riker having his internet problems. I think he's actually playing at Walt Disney World, by the way. So he's playing on the hotel internet.
Oh wow.
The Riker webs.
I believe Rage Plug.
No, Mom Destroyer. Goddamn lag.
I will say this, if ever there was a reason to rage quit in Geiger versus Truck, those 3 turns are it.
Okay, there he is. He's back. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh boy.
Alright, so we catch a throw.
Q to K. That's pretty solid. And you saw, unfortunately, that's the block he used. So we don't have. If he does choose to go for a normal pressure here,
he has no information. Yeah.
We see that. Well, we see 1 even and 1 odd in the discard. Trock's block distribution favors evens just a little bit.
Oh wow! Nice throw.
Or you're just too worried about the face card and you get scooped. And oh dear, 18.
I mean, that tells me Riker does not have another king, and he's really worried about that queen. Perhaps even Jack, right? Risking the cross up into Jack is pretty. So
he's already below half his health, and we are not even that far in the deck. Oh no!
Double giant growth.
Here he goes. Trock's set up.
We are in there.
The good news for Geiger is if he does find his time spirals now, block is much weaker. And here comes the Riker ball. We don't even need a bunch of cards in our hand. We just need aces.
Redless calling it out. He knows.
Temporal Distortion finds the queen. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it's just to get the queen back more than really threaten a bunch of damage on 6 cards.
Yeah, I believe. I think, yeah, Riker's best option is just to play defensively and threaten that he might be able to do, 40 or 50 damage.
Right. Let me check something real quick.
He has to be really careful about getting scooped one more time, though.
Oh, nice undercut.
I think he just found that, but that's perfect. He gets rid of one of Trock's best options in this matchup, and he knocks him on his ass.
Absolutely, and also that covers the. I think you're going to block the Temporal Distortion, aka the Radix deluxe strategy of I'm going to block 60% of the time with Temporal Distortion, and then run you out cards, and then all of a sudden my J just wins.
Yep.
Okay, knockdown again. So if he has another J or Q, I have to think he's playing it. If he doesn't, he's probably just going to go for a throw. There's the Q.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
Bomber on that typical Trock hand, draw all your face cards.
Remember, Trock is entitled to at least three face cards and 2 silent aces every game.
It is true.
I think Intillerman was himself right there. He is the Nash Equilibrium guy.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't often not mention it.
Oh boy. So the good news is for Riker, 2 of those face cards that are attacks are gone.
Yeah, I mean, he still has to worry about that Jack undercutting his Jack, but and there's probably 20 more damage.
19, close enough.
Yeah, 19 damage.
And Geiger is within lethal range of the very many things that he does not want to be within lethal range of.
Yeah, most cards in Trock's deck will kill him.
All right, we're queen back.
We're going for it. I imagine he hasn't found a Jack, or he's terrified. He's just, well, not terrified, but he's afraid of Trock's Jack. So
I think there's, I don't know. This is a really awkward situation. You really don't want, and this is really bad for Team USA if they lose this game, because they don't really have another solid anti-Trock pick outside of, I'm going to play a grappler mirror with you.
I was going to say, they probably just send out Midori and have him...
or Clan's Trock, and try to play, just go down to the Bull Mirror who draws more good cards.
I think I like the Midori strategy better. Like Midori navigates. He's a character specialist,
Oh,
right?
and I think he's dead. Even if he has the Joker here, he would need a second one to not immediately be checkmated by Q or Ace, assuming he doesn't have a king.
Well, I mean, Q is at least a little bit unlikely. 2 of them in the yard, and we're only 18 cards into the game, so.
Oh, we might get the Force No card. Well, not gonna get Force No card because he has 5 cards in hand.
But he's definitely gonna make him ditch some of his better options.
Well, he might have found the partner for the AC powered up for at some point.
Oh, he's probably had it the whole time, I think.
The thing is, with all that blocking, I have to wonder if that was just the threat of Riker Ball without actually having the second ace. He's also known when I play him. He'll find 3 aces of Zane and just make you play around Anarchy for the entire game, and he'll be like, by the way, Anarchy was never real.
No, and there it is, real. The Riker Ball, but Trock saving that dodge.
Is that real? If it's not real, he's dead. He's dead.
Wow.
That is 2-0 to Team World.
So, Bomber showing up huge here, bumping off 2 very, very good players.
And, like, it's not completely unprecedented because Bomber 678 did eliminate Yomi League champion Leontes from the feature film festival fight.
That's true. His very own festival fight, so...
So this will be Leontes on Midori.
I truly believe that this is their best option to unseat Trock here.
There's a lot going on in this matchup, so it's generally considered, I think, slight Trock advantage. I think it's actually pretty even. I played this a lot in development. Of course, this was back when Midori was a little bit stronger, but his nerf did not affect this matchup at all, because Trock doesn't have a special dodge.
My gut tells me 5-5. Maybe slight advantage
a little better.
Maybe slight advantage Trock, but they're...
Midori has the dominant attack in the matchup, which is Dragon Queen. He has a dominant throw in this matchup, assuming he gets to Dragon form. Trock has the same throw distribution Midori does, but his normal throws are better. But Midori actually has faster normals than Trock does at speed 0.2.
That's true, but Master Midori cannot throw with his 2. So, I mean, the Trock's 2 is...
an additional rank of throw that Midori does not have.
Yeah, and it undercuts the King, which isn't really important.
It does not, however, undercut the Dragon King, which is speed 1.8.
This is true. So, I mean, 10s and 2s are going to be really big in this matchup, in that specific instance.
Meanwhile, Trox 9 and 10 are, like, effectively blank cards.
This is true, because, I mean, that 10's going to blow him up, and, I mean, Warstomp's still pretty strong, but...
Because Midori does not like being knocked down, but he has a Dragon Queen in hand that's not too bad.
Yeah. Especially given that Trock only has 1 other dodge. We'll probably see a lot of Cycle 10s as they're drawn.
So we're also going to have a bunch of defense mastery. So a normal draw might be a thing sometimes, but only if it hits throws. Or if, like, Midori undercuts Trock's 4 with his 4. Something crazy like that.
You are not wrong. This is not a matchup that I relish. I hate defensive mastery.
I played this matchup as Midori a lot, actually. This is one of the few matchups I'm very familiar with on the Midori end, back when I used to play him a lot.
Nice. I prefer... I'm curious about this, because I have recently been trying to fit a grappler into my repertoire, and Midori is by far my favorite of the 3, so...
But is Midori even a grappler?
That is a very sound question, but I think that one should be addressed on the forums. Okay.
Oh yeah. Also, there's the aces. So Trock has the better ace attack. Midori has the lower investment ace throw. He does not need attached block support, obviously. 2 aces from him will tech 3 aces from Trock.
This is true.
But then on the other hand, Trock's damage is all front loaded, and Midori's is all back loaded. He has 20 up front or 0 up front, with either 52 or 36 building up. Oh no, that's not the start you want. And if you're not in Dragon form, that King is the dominant throw, because it's going to beat every throw that Midori's reasonably going to use.
Yeah, unless you see some sort of double 2-hand start.
But even then, it outspeeds the 2, because Midori's 2 throws speed 2.8, so that actually outspeeds everything but the Dragon King.
Oh, correct, I forgot that he has 0.8 throws, which is weird as a grappler.
He was meant to be the secondary grapple. I think he was meant to have slower throws so that Rook would outspeed him if they were to play against each other.
But now that we have 10 more characters. Okay, so... Wow, Bomber just going full ham.
I mean, if you have the 2 and the King in your opening hand against Midori, those are like 2 of the best cards to see. And even without attached blocks, that's 8 damage with 8 more on the way. Maybe. No, he's going to go for the knockdown. Does he go for the setup, or is he setting up, or is he trying to get a free block? Because there's a chance Midori uses 4 normal, because that will undercut all of Trock's media attacks at this point. Well, mix up normal. He doesn't have media attacks. Oh God, please. Trock has 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's a smart block by Leontes. Yeah, recognizing that Trock just looking to sneak a block in there.
And this is the rematch of their film festival fight.
Yeah, Leontes, the International Yomi League champion of this season.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of that in this matchup because the cards that they have are both like very high power, but it's only on a few ranks, and they're very selective. The thing is, Midori can get his back if he's in Dragon form. Once Trock uses his good cards, they're gone.
Yeah, oh wow.
Has the King throw, nice, it's 12 damage, it's 1 card. It means,
it's also fairly safe, given that 2 and that King are burned.
However, Trock's 3 and 4 would still undercut it. He probably has a 10 in hand in case that happened, but he's not going to burn a 10 to deal 5 more damage. He'll burn a 10 if he needs to undercut.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Throws with the 2.
He is known for that. He will throw with 2. He does not see any card in Midori's deck as sacred.
Interesting. And the straight, wow. That's a lot of damage and an ace.
So I think you're going to see a lot more focus on Eagle Totem than on Beast Unleashed in this matchup.
It makes sense. It's only undercut by Dragon Queen, so...
Because unfortunately Midori's Wrath of Earth has that speed 1.2, which is a pretty awful speed to have access to against Trock. It doesn't do very much for you.
It's in a weird spot for sure on the speed scale, this matchup.
So again, we're at this point where we're not too far into the deck, and Trock's opponent's at half. So this combat's pretty important. Oh no, not what you want.
Now.
And that's a pretty smart throw. If you block with that 2, that usually means, oh, okay, he had 6s in his hand. Usually that means you don't have many blocks, so if you draw a block, you'll probably use it. So the King is just meant to catch that. And it also means that you catch the throw in case Midori tries to counter throw after losing a 2. Oh, there's that 4 normal, so that will beat the normal throw attempt. 2 Kings are gone, so that 4 attack can be relatively safe to try to punch out opposing throws.
And just lets it go, eh?
He might not have the straight, or if he does, because he did power away a couple 6s. Also, the 5s are reasonable just to use as throws.
Yeah, there's only 1 6 left live. Because the 1 got thrown, so...
Gets the normal draw, gets Bomber to face down his most damaging follow-up to his normal throw.
Interesting. Maybe Bomber believes that he's far enough ahead that that incremental damage is not as important.
And when you're at 9 cards in hand, losing 1 isn't a huge deal.
Blocks with 2 block.
I feel like he's going to go Dragon pretty soon. If he finds another Dragon face card with that draw, I'm pretty sure you're going to see him go Dragon next turn.
Here it is.
He's electing not to.
Oh, wow.
Might be waiting for another turn.
That's, well, I mean, it's risky.
But he had the Queen in hand.
Interesting.
He might have only 1 Dragon. He might only have a limited amount of Dragon cards in his hand. But he, again, Trock halfway to the point of very scary.
That's a pretty aggressive Queen if you have a limited number of Dragon cards.
Yeah, and Leonte is also known for trying to leave smoke signals about his hand. He's one of the very few players who tries to disguise a bad hand actively, or disguise a good hand actively by playing bad cards.
Interesting.
So yeah, I feel like that King was actually almost face up, because once you see him do something like, you block my Queen, I'm going to go Dragon form anyway, that should be your signal. He has a bunch of face cards that he's been saving.
He's sitting on the token Leonte's hand, where he has 5 queens.
5 queens, 7 kings, and 9 aces.
Riker bringing up the fair point that, yes, it is almost actually lethal.
Uh-oh! Speaking of throws that beat Trock's King, that's the other one.
Oh, you...
Has to face down, and that's a Joker gone, because otherwise he maybe takes...
52.
And he does not want anything to do with that.
It would have put him to, I believe, 9?
It would put him at 5. 36 more damage on top of that. Sorry, 32. It would have put him at 9. You're correct.
Yeah.
It would have put him at 9, which means basically anything that Midori can think of will kill him.
Any one combat. And the follow-up, he has all 4. Unbelievable.
Well, there's one of the discards, so if he has the follow-up, it's going to deal 36.
No, I mean, it's 2 and 2.
Yeah. So it's 40 on over 2 turns. So all of a sudden, Midori with the life lead. Not where Trock wants to be, because he's going to need that second attached ace to try and make it up quickly.
That was an impressive bluff by Midoriya. As you said, disguising his good hand. He had 3 aces in hand and a king. That was very well played by Leontes. I am super impressed.
Possibly there's more dragon cards lurking around him there. He's also known for... Yep, there's the Dragon Queen.
And this could be the game if he has an 8.
An 8 or a J, right? So,
yeah.
And now a Bomber at 7. You can pretty much think of every Midori card ever is lethal now.
Wow, powering 10s for the mix-up.
It makes sense, right? Because if you know you have the mix-up Ace-Ace-Queen, you don't care about War Stomp because your mix-up Ace-Ace-Queen. But if you hold on to the dodges because there's the War Stomp, all of a sudden your mix-up's cut down because you really only get to threaten the Ace-Ace.
Interesting.
So if he has the DQ in hand, that makes that a lot more scary. Because now... Trock's out to the entire mix-up is I have to Gold Burst because everything else in my deck loses to at least some part of that mix-up if he just picks between those two.
Yeah, Trock still has to respect that queen too. Like, I mean, even if Leontes doesn't have it, he has no choice but to respect it.
And also, again, I said about Leontes, he does not see... Oh, no! There you go. There's the 20. So he, by the way, including the overkill, he did 60 points of damage just with ace ace.
In 3 turns. Three combat reveals, 3 ace ace.
So what's this about Midori being bottom tier?
Yomi League champion, USA representative,
and that puts the USA on the board.
Well, Bomber showing up with impressively with that first 2 games on Trock, taking out Geiger, which is a really important victory for him. Now Midori...
And knocking out my anticipated lead, because I sort of anticipated LK would be the lead.
Yeah. So,
I'm thinking Bob numbers will be the play here. I'm pretty sure they're going to go with Bob. Enomis, I don't think, feels confident playing against Leontes after what happened in Yomi League where he lost 4-2.
Yeah, that was... and, I mean, he almost ran it back. He flipped that
Joker
at the end with 5 cards in his deck. It was pretty brutal.
Here comes
you're
your
correct with Bob and DeGray.
Note that they've actually done this thing where they put their DeGray vulnerable characters first. Geiger DeGray isn't necessarily a bad matchup for Geiger, but it's awkward because DeGray has the access to that constant dodge to get around time spirals. So now that the DeGray weak characters have been sort of front-loaded, Bob's impact is limited because, first of all, he has to get through Midori. This matchup's definitely a DeGray advantage, but Midori has the tools to win just on damage output, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you know he's going to ace dodge turn 1. You get the scoop.
Top deck DeGray initiated.
And I don't think he'll follow up unless he has a 7 or an 8. There it is.
The grappler rule: if you don't have a high normal, don't follow it.
Or a J, right? But he might want to hold in a J for like DQ, JJ. Note that ace dodge it is one of the three kinds of dodges in the game that will get around Midori's dragon attacks.
The dragon mode, yeah.
The other 2, of course, being Lum's Blackjack and any of Quince's face card dodges on his king or his J. Because Midori's innate says that normal dodges do not get affected by dragon attacks. The normal are not effective against dragon attacks. They get affected in that they don't work.
Yep. You might as well have no card. Wow, early dodge from Leontes.
Oh boy, that's why. Quick bit of damage.
Leontes' hands like ace magnets.
This is a little awkward hand for a little bit of an awkward match for Midori as well because, like DeGray versus other grapplers, he technically has the best throw in the game provided he has access to a 7. Midori's real counterplay to that, if he wants to deal sizable damage and he doesn't have a DQ, is going to have to risk something like a 6 attack or like some sort of normal to try to punch out the point counterpoint. Goes to the 9 throw. Remember, he doesn't think of any of his cards as sacred.
Yeah, and that's 2 dodges gone now.
Well, one of them was very effective as a dodge, right? And going for the combo into the K, he probably does not have a better... I don't think he's trying to disguise a hand. I just don't think he has a better follow-up for attack in there. Because the King is important because that's the attack DeGray has to sort of ward off Midori's Dragon Queen, provided he doesn't have access to his ace dodge. There's the point counterpoint. Interesting that Bob Numbers elects to go for the attack side first. Because if you go for the throw side first and then you discard, you replace the discard card with your normal draw. If you go for the attack side first, if it hits, great, you make a card profit. But if not, you have to burn a card to go to the throw.
Yeah, Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit for getting little tricks of the trade.
Okay, I feel like Midori's best option here is to block. If there's another counterpoint in there, that's whatever. But if that's the Malthug special of I'm going to name that and then ace dodge.
Oh wow.
Or 6 attack.
That was a hell of a read by Bob.
Well, it's the mix-up normal as well, so if he thinks that Leontes is going for that block, he gets the option coverage from crossing up all of his odd blocks.
Indeed. And, I mean, seeing that he's only played 2 blocks, 6 is as good a card as any.
Yep, there's the block. Even though DeGray has that moral high ground innate where if Midori outcards him, DeGray hurts more, and that's another factor in this matchup, is Midori needs a big hand to be really scary.
Yep.
Midori still does need a big hand to be really scary.
Wow, the 9 throw.
Of all the grapplers in the game, Midori is the most throwable.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes an argument can be made for Trock just trying to sneak those dragon growths.
I'm saying if you don't think Midori has a scary handful of dragon stuff, you can kind of take the opportunity to try to throw him, and then even if he does throw you back, you're either taking 8 or 16, you're not too worried about it. And the hand sizes stay equal, he still hasn't gotten a chance to build up.
This is true, and Bob, like, threatening that ace dodge over and over and over again because it returns to his hand, so...
It is the only dodge in the game that returns to hand unless it is thrown.
Yep,
and it's just like a block in that respect.
Yeah, it makes Leontes have to really think about pulling the trigger on Wake Up.
So if he has the king is his dragon or his ace. Those are the 2 moves that answer that ace dodge. But he's going to immediately lose the dragon form. And
that was a very good read by Bob.
Boatload
28
of
damage. Yeah.
All of a sudden, Midori's at 19. No, boy. Not where you want to go.
That was a very, very good combat by Bob. Incredible read. And, I mean...
I feel like he has the 3rd ace in hand. I think he has the 3rd ace in hand.
I think it's a fair assessment. That's typically what I've discovered with the Gray players is that they always have the other ace so they can dodge into ace-ace.
And Midori trying to scat out, blocks another 8 throw. But he doesn't have the follow-up because he has the J he used, he has the K he used. He doesn't even have 5-6. And since it's unlikely he has 2 more aces, that and you can't say that's pulling out a hand disguise because if you have the opportunity to win the game, you just should.
Yeah, no, I think that Bob is I mean, he's just typed in chat that he's top tiering or he's top decking, but I think that he's played the best options that his hand is allowed, and that's it. He's not disguising anything. He's had some good combat gets with these throws, really pressuring.
There's the mix-up normal again. Leonte still not cottoning onto that. And now he's at 7 because he has those Slayer jabs where he gets to do a bit of extra damage because...
Yeah, well, it's because his normals are so slow and he doesn't have the opportunity for very many normal combos.
Especially since he doesn't get the straight from his jab.
True.
Oh, blocks the king. Because he's in dragon form, he gets to elect to get a dodge, a king, or an ace back if he wishes. He's going to choose to get the king back.
Interesting.
In this matchup, DQ not quite as helpful because of that ace dodge, but it's possible, again, that Bob doesn't have one. You kind of have to pick your poison, right? Because you get the king back, you are vulnerable to 7. You get the, oh boy.
He has the queen, and that's a lot of damage right there.
The thing is, I feel like the 9th throw wasn't going to win very much. If you're Midori and you have a queen and a king, you're basically saying, I'm going to pick one of the good cards. Oh, Golden Ghost-chan gets dodged.
But he has the Joker. Yeah, Bob's hand must be very limited to throw that 9 there.
Again, I feel like those are... Yeah, oh yeah, he had a pretty throw clogged hand. I just feel like that was a 9 that's unlikely to win combat because you're playing around one of DeGray's good cards at that point. And, like, I think on that particular chain, he was willing to accept losing to the king. Because otherwise he limits his options way too much.
Interesting.
Oh, no!
Oh, wow. The pile bunker. The raw pile bunker. And that has got to stay.
Down, Leontes. Jesus. And he finally drew all the follow-ups that he could have killed with off those throws.
Well, I mean, that's 3-1 for Team Worlds.
Okay, so we got Tillerman and we got Clan Toy left. I feel like Clan's Trock. Yep, there's Clan's Trock coming out. That is the best choice. Lum does not have a significantly better matchup against the Gray. because he needs
All
those
right.
big hands.
Operation Return the Favor.
So this matchup's much better for Trock. DeGray, again, has limited good cards. Trock does not. And because Trock is unlikely to go to a big hand, Moral High Ground does not really affect him that much.
Yep, you really have to find those throws with Bob or with DeGray. You really have to beat him based on pure Yomi.
Oh,
wow!
Goes to the pile bunker on turn 1, gets undercut by a pretty reasonable 4. He's expecting something like a 5 attack or a pile bunker. Gets the ace.
I am a huge fan of that turn 1 pile bunker, and it was scouted all the way by Clan Destroy.
Clan Choi, by the way, for his own pedigree, is the Fantasy Strike Online Championship of Legend champion.
Huh. And he's also a Midori player of repute, if I recall.
Yes, absolutely. But he's been playing more Trock in his repertoire, and especially for this event. There's the first one, halfway there.
Yep.
Especially for this event, because having double Midori does open you up way too much to those counter picks, like this DeGray.
I believe the rules say that only one of each character copies.
But even if not, Midori's not the character you'd want to double dip on if you're going to choose one.
For sure. You want to double dip on Trock.
Have like 5 Trock versus 5 DeGray or something.
We already saw earlier, Trock could put in a hell of a lot of work just by drawing his reasonable cards.
It goes to that second one.
That being said, Bomber did play well, but...
By the way, both the cards in DeGray's discard, except for those 2s, obviously, are it's an engraved queen and engraved 6.
Obviously, Bob has been putting some time in, or maybe some money.
So we're going to see on that Queen of Hearts stats, number of times has been scouted out by Clan of Toys 4. At least once.
Alright, so Bob's sitting with a little bit of a card disadvantage here, so potential for damage here if he
notice that this does put Entourment on anchor.
Yeah, it has to. So, I mean, like you said, there's no Grave DeGray is not a reasonable matchup to want to take, so it's got to be Trock.
And if he was playing Lum, he probably would have been put on lead just because Lum does so well against most of that lineup.
Yeah, Lum is a really strong lead, but I believe in the chat it says he's Grave, so...
He is Grave for this tournament. I think he was too worried about potentially getting counterpicked by Arg.
Fair enough. Oh, wow.
That's the thing, if you don't have 7s as the Gray, your throws are not good.
That is true. I mean, no, in the grappler match, no throws are good on a regular character because they'll always be able to undercut you, but I'm surprised that Bob thought that Clan was going to block once more after 2 turns of blocking.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, you'll see some of the best players, they will repeat the same option and just dare you to stop them. So, it's not totally unreasonable, but it's interesting. It was the read he had, and it obviously didn't pan out. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing with DeGray. His good cards are some of the best cards in Yomi, between his King, which is the Dragon Punch that can maybe just do 15 damage. The Ace Dodge is ludicrous. The 7 throw is ludicrous. There's that King. That's going to deal 12 damage.
That's a hell of an uppercut.
That's a 1-card 12 damage, 0.2 speed. Can't ask for much more other than more speed, but that would be a little too ridiculous.
You could ask it to knock down.
No, please. We don't need that in our lives. But then you look at the rest of his kit, right? X.6 normals, X.8 throws. One of his dodges on Troublesome Rhetoric, so really he has, like, 2 more ranks of dodges he really wants to use. He kind of wants to use Troublesome Rhetoric to add to his effective health. Mm-hmm. So if you see that DeGray's on a low hand, yes, he does more damage if he has face cards, but he also maybe just doesn't have those amazing cards DeGray needs to really put his game plan forward.
You're absolutely right. But in that way, Trock is very similar, right?
I'm not sure so much. Trock's thing is that he just doesn't have draw power because his blocks don't return to hand.
Yeah.
But then he has grappler throws, but then he also has the King throw. But then he also has, like, both of his face cards and his aces are all really excellent attacks. But then he also has good dodge follows. He just doesn't have many dodges.
This is true.
His card quality overall is going to be higher, but he's not going to have a single card that's as good as one of DeGray's.
Yeah, and I mean, this might be the first time we're seeing in like a really long time this matchup too, because I mean, DeGray has kind of fallen off in popularity. Yes. Especially because Malthug has disappeared.
Oh yeah, and when Malthug has, he's been slumping pretty hard. Tries to catch him waking up with a normal, no dice.
Well, I mean, that's a really good get for Bob. Gets rid of one of these all-important face cards, and that undercuts almost all of his options. So.
Again, another one of those Trock games, by the way, where the opponent's at under half pretty early in the game.
Well, I mean, being able to follow up your throws with high normals is pretty optimal.
Okay, tries to get that sneaky block. Again, gets rid of one of those dodges. You'll notice those 2s and 3s are going to be dodges very frequently in this matchup, or they're going to be power-ups to find an ace, because they're not going to beat very much. But yeah, this matchup, these two and Setsuki were considered the game's top 3 when the game released. Jagray and Setsuki have sort of fallen off the radar completely because of the age of Zane, but Trock has sort of stayed about as important.
Well, that's because of the age of Zane. He's Zane's worst matchup by far.
Meanwhile, Setsuki, not a huge fan of the Zane matchup, neither is Jagray, so we haven't seen a whole ton of him. And the convenient thing here, let's assume, we'll see what happens. Okay, assuming that Clan of Toy wins this, they get to keep Raziak on anchor, because obviously he's not going to play Zane and Trock. That's just not happening willingly. But then not only that, it's not even like they have a bad option, because Negutin's been an Onimaru exclusive player. And Onimaru does excellently against Trock, because Trock gets unblockable by 2 of Onimaru's attacks with his 10s and his 8s.
This is true. He can't contest with that. That being said, I think that I think just based on the popularity of Zane on the site, Jagray is obviously not as good, but just in general, I would say that these two might be the best characters in the game, just objectively.
Just on power level?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Yomi is it's so well balanced, I can even argue with that. So I have arguments about that one. I think Gray's power level is still very understated.
That's true. He is one of the most well-rounded characters in the game.
I feel like you should see a lot more play now because his worst matchup of the popular characters is Jagray. So with less Jagray, that opens up more room for Grave to sort of start flexing. Especially if what I think happens, which Valerie should get more popular because Zane and Trock both don't have a wonderful time against her.
I was about to say Hartley leading the Valerie train, and that makes everyone want to play Grave.
But then he has some like absurd win rate in that matchup. Gets rid of the ace dodge, that's important. 1 attached block, so this is a 9 damage throw, which you know is still just fine. Jagray's on the ground now, cannot threaten that ace dodge again, even if he has another one.
So, I mean, we're looking for king here.
Pretty much you're scouting for king or you're scouting for 7. The 7's gonna obviously, because that's pretty much Jagray's prevailing mix-up right now. He doesn't need to block too much on a 9-card hand unless his hand is really strapped for options.
Jack really scouted that mix-up normal. Perhaps kind of greedy of Clan to stick that mix-up normal there, knowing that only one king's been played.
He probably doesn't... Jay is also reasonable. I guess he doesn't expect a face card to be the primary mix-up right this second. Because you've seen the couple of Jays that both gotten blocked when Bob was knocked down.
That is true. Both he has gotten rid of 2 Jays, which undercut that, so it's only Queen that beats it.
Mm-hmm.
And Beast Unleashed, obviously.
And it's only 7 damage, not a huge amount. Trock's still at a pretty healthy life total. Bob, 1 good combat away from almost being dead. Oh boy, that's why he leads the attack side in this matchup, because if you get that read on that throw and you get the normal draw immediately, it's a great card.
Yep.
But now he doesn't get the knockdown, so he kind of has to follow into that. Interesting that he goes for the king.
Yeah, that's a pretty important option, Burn. Perhaps no other jack.
More interestingly is that Clan bluffing away a queen.
Huh.
Fun fact, by the way, Bob Numbers is on World Team Server. On technicality, he's actually from my neck of the woods. He lives in Michigan, but he is currently living abroad in, I want to say Taiwan.
He is in Taiwan, yes.
I believe he's teaching there at the moment, actually.
Yep, as far as I know, you are correct in that. I just did not know that he was from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I played Street Fighter with him actually quite a bit.
Ah, well, that's
he's
pretty
an
cool.
Adon Ibuki player, I believe.
Oh, he's one of those people.
I'm not going to make any comments about the results of our matches over this chat because I want to be nice. So, let's see. Okay, so Eagle Totem is lethal, by the way, so that's worth noting. This is not the life total you want to be at against Trock. It would be even scarier if you had the second attached block, because the normal throw is also lethal. Right now, normal throw would put him at 2.
That being said, Bob has come a long way back. This is still very winnable for him.
Mm-hmm. Just this is important combat. There's the normal throw, undercuts the 10. I think that 10 was way too greedy. I don't think that Clan had much of an incentive to block there, to be quite honest.
So to 2 life, and he's dead to blocking any face card.
Getting thrown.
Getting thrown. Like, he's dead to anything, but he can't even block effectively now if there are face cards.
He can maybe aim a Troublesome Rhetoric on attacks if he really wants to get that block in.
If you Troublesome Rhetoric attacks and then block, you're going to get thrown 100% of the time, I think.
I'm saying he could if he really wanted to. I don't think he has the TR in hand, or he would have played it to try to give himself a buffer to play with this mix-up.
Yeah. I mean, if you have Troublesome Rhetoric, you have to snap play it.
And I have to feel like Trock's blocks is going to be like at 0%. He doesn't need the second stack. He just needs to touch him with something.
Yep, he's just going to swing for the fences now.
However, one good Degree read, and this lead is gone.
Well, I mean, if he drops a couple of cards that doesn't take any damage, he can go Pile Bunker into Ace-Ace and do 45 damage.
Oh, there's the king. That's probably where, again, if you're playing a slow throw on a turn where your opponent's not likely to, not do something, it means you have the king sitting in the wings. And now even Queen Ace-Ace, if he doesn't have Moral High Ground, is lethal.
You're not wrong. This is a hell of a combat
the Ash is
right
calling
here.
it out. And he has access to the Ace Dodge, so Ace Dodge, Queen Ace-Ace also lethal. Throw Ace-Ace would put Trockets. Oh boy, there's the first part.
Oh my lord.
Is it Queen Ace-Ace?
Is Bob a god today?
Q67 gets jokered. Doesn't have the second ace, so I feel like that would have just been snap play.
Yep, for sure.
But doesn't matter. Trock's at 20. A naked Final Arbiter is his death.
So if he rips that ace, or powers...
But Eagle Totem or the Eagle Totem chip is also death. If you look, that's only one Joker gone. He might have a second one. Ace-Ace might just be a safe play if he has the Joker available, because the King is only 10. Well, no, he's 13. My mistake.
Yeah.
The 6/7 doesn't just add the extra damage if it's not Jokered, it adds the extra damage to the Queen because of the Moral High Ground.
This one is coming down to the wire.
Oh yeah,
Bob,
we saw Clan start with an absolutely dominant position.
Yeah, Bob has played the back end of this game really well.
Oh boy, that's the mix-up.
Throws out the real-life Troublesome Rhetoric.
My personal favorite is, I play in real life sometimes, and I'll just be like, I just played True Power Storms.
Teapots, boys. Oh my god!
No! Double
What?
bunker. Has to
What?
face down immediately. Is he dead? Did he die to the Queen? It was the bluff. Bob Numbers is one game
Bob
away.
pulls it out with the skin of his teeth. Unbelievable.
25 damage on the last turn. After a 17 damage pile bunker, runs it back.
Draws all 4 pile bunkers that game to win for the clutch victory.
And now Team USA's hope completely rests on Tillerman doing a reverse, well, not reverse, he has to do a 4-0. And Tillerman has possibly the least pedigree of anyone on Team USA.
Yeah, I mean
He is presently.
And he's looking down the barrel of a very bad matchup.
This isn't that bad, but it's definitely not the one I would pick if I'm Grave. I would not want to play this matchup most of the time.
Well, Grave doesn't have any oppressive matchups, but this one is not great.
We'll have to see. He has to pull it out. Oh, and that's not what you want to see turn 1.
Final Arbor.
And turn 1 ace, that's, well, not Final Arbor.
Oh, sorry, Ghost Riposte, yeah.
That is meant to catch a J. Catching a king is just as good if you have the damage. No face down, so it's probably just me dodge something J.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good damage.
And that J is getting Moral High Ground bonus of 10 more damage. By the way, if you ever pay attention to his post on the forums, this is Tillerman's least favorite character in the game by a pretty reasonable margin. Like, he hates the idea that DeGray could possibly be a playable, good character in a serious tournament setting.
Interesting. I guess the idea that building a character around the opposite of card advantages it would be upsetting to someone who bases everything on EV, right?
Right. Gets the throw, has to get that dodge. I feel like if he got Pile Bunker, that would have been the mental guard break.
Yep. All right,
Catches
so
in the
pretty
J.
good combo here. Good damage, reasonable.
You'll notice in this matchup, Graves uses J more as a combat card than a... Well, not kind of a combo card than a combat card. It's normally very good because when you clip the block, you get the 3 damage, and it comes back to your hand, and they don't drop for blocking. But in this matchup, because of that ace dodge, the J just does not do the work you want.
Readers are leaders. Okay. So Tillerman tied up the life lead. They're just about even on cards. Oh no, they are even on cards.
Oh, another Ghoster Post.
So what do we got in Bob's hand?
5-card hand. Ooh, I'm not going to say not much because you never know. Another J? Nope, just throw 5. And the 5 there, he doesn't feel like he doesn't value the knockdown. He wants to just put himself to where he has a slight moral high ground bonus if he gets another ace dodge.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Grave has that 0-frame uppercut, and DeGray doesn't benefit that much from a knockdown, so.
Again, gets the 8th throw. Just trying to draw those dodges away. I'm not... Okay, throw ace. Puts him back out of moral high ground damage range. Gets him the life lead.
Yeah, gets him a life lead. That's pretty good card efficiency. I don't think you can ask for much more.
19 damage for 2 cards. Not much more you can ask for. There's the third ace.
Bob numbers.
Slow rolling them.
How about we call it a draw, says Phoenix of the Ashes. And another throw.
2.
Again. Trying to keep that moral high ground ahead. Yeah, as I'm sure you were about to say.
Oh yeah, for sure. Light tolls are pretty low. Hands are pretty low. He's 8 thrown both times he's face planted into the ace dodge. I wonder if he's going to throw again.
Wow, that's a really good point counterpoint too.
Oh yeah. Is he going to counter it? Chooses not to. If he does counter it, Bob cannot discard another card. But I think he realizes that just taking 8 damage, even if he has the 10 and a face card, not worth there.
For sure.
I mean, he might be able to just because he gets the successful block and the knowing the opponent trigger. Knows there's an ace dodge in hand now. He has to decide what he's going to do about it. If he tries for the throw and gets bunked or 7'd or something, he's not going to be too pleased with it.
That's the first reserved play we've seen from Bob this whole game.
I think that just admission he just doesn't have anything to do off the ace dodge. He just wants to block to maybe get some damage in his hand.
Yeah, and I mean just respecting that. Oh,
not what he wanted. Oh no, that's why.
Wow.
What's the only thing better than 3 silent aces when you're DeGray?
4.
4 silent aces, and the opponent being at 3.
Well, Bob Numbers putting in
and if he has the king, I'm pretty sure that's
4 silent aces, and there's the
Q. You know the ace dodge is no longer possible, so the Q becomes a lot better.
And I mean, Bob on 1 card or 2 cards here after draw. So I mean, if ever there's a time.
Okay, and Tillerman's running it back. You got the throw. 6J, 6J.
Okay, that's really good damage.
Some of the most he can do off a throw is 21. A throw is lethal if he has an ace. This game, not a pace you're used to seeing in Gray versus DeGray. This matchup is usually very slow and deliberate. Not so much when these 2 players are playing it.
I like this, and Tillerman needs the momentum to run this all the way back.
He realizes he's at 3. Blocking is not safe. If you block a pile bunker, you die. If you block a throw, you die.
And if you block Jack, you die.
Well, you block Jack, you're at 1, but then you block a king, you die.
It's only 2 chip damage, true.
Oh my god, if Jack did 3? Ugh. Gross. It's the card. There's the Ghost Chant, Bob Numbers, and Bomber. Take it for Team World.
Whew. RIP United States.
Land of the free, wow. Bob with the trash talk.
Well, I mean, it was a 2-man wrecking crew. Let me just say that.
U.S. got 1 win, and that was with Leontes.
Well, I mean, if your international Yomi League champion isn't worth 1 win, then
oh, loud.
That was a hell of a set by Bomber and Bob.
And it was just Bomber and Bob. Bob wins 2. Bomber wins
3. 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yeah, my mistake. Bob won 3.
Well, I mean, DeGray, he's a house. You can win a lot of those games just by drawing well and playing aggressively.
And having 4 silent aces never hurts.
That's true. So are they going to play a run back set, is the question. Wow.
Yeah, those were some statement games.
Yeah. USA with some work to do, it appears, in the World Yomi League.
I suppose. International Yomi League, by the way, is going to be at the end of this month.
Yeah, get your sign-ups in if you haven't. I know I did. It's going to be exciting. We'll have the highest turnout, I think, with of any of the Yomi Leagues ever, so... we might have the opportunity for actual divisions.
Right? I feel like the divisions for the last Yomi League are pretty. Like, I feel like a couple of stacked divisions and a couple of not so stacked divisions.
It was unfortunate because, like, I mean, there were only a few newer players in the last Yomi League, right? And they, you're either in a weaker division because the distribution of players isn't very good, and you get to the playoffs to get bopped by these very good players, or you're in a really strong division and there's no way you're getting anywhere. So this year, with the potential for 5, 6, 7, like a lot of divisions, we can really see what the community has to offer.
It also makes those individual divisional races all the more important if the playoffs remain only 16.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
So you may have to finish in the top 2 of your division to even get a shot at playoffs.
Yeah.
The thing is, even though that was a 5-1, pretty much a statement by World, most of those were really close. They came down pretty close.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean,
those Bob games took one miracle comeback.
Yeah, from
basically nothing.
Bob,
and then Gloria almost got a miracle comeback in game 1.
Yeah, that was played very well.
So coming up on Mad King Stream, by the way, we have 2 very interesting matchups coming up from the feature film festival fight. We're going to have winners finals going to be Riker versus Clan Natoy. Riker, as I mentioned on the stream before, sort of the Cinderella story in that tournament. I think even he didn't really expect to go quite that far without running into something like a Razic.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Cinderella story because he certainly put his time in, but he definitely came out of left field on that, and staying on winner's side the entire tournament, right?
Yeah, he said he went into the tournament for 2 reasons. One of them was to counterpick literally everybody, and one of them was to beat Razic, because they're good friends in real life, but they're also pretty serious rivals.
DRB team kill is almost not assured, but it's highly likely now with Razic closing in on losers finals too. He's got to get through Hartley first though.
In our losers bracket, yes, Razic versus Hartley. Hartley playing Razic's old version 1 Bay and Valerie,
who has a positive matchup against Razic's favorite characters. So
interesting enough. So by the way, the players we never saw from Team World: Air National Yomi League 2 semifinalist, Air National Yomi League 2 champion.
Yeah. And Jack of all trades, Nagut, so
who's like one of those sort of sleepers. So we never saw any of them.
Yeah, I am flabbergasted. I thought that would be much closer than it was.
So for pickles972, this is the Mad King signing off. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
No problem.